Neighbor, did you know that weeds aren't always as bad as we think they are? In every garden, besides the aggressive weeds that steal nutrients and choke out vegetables, there are also wild plants that grow completely on their own. And surprisingly, they can be incredibly beneficial for our crops. They quietly hold moisture in the soil, shade the roots from harsh sunlight, attract pollinators, and even help nearby plants grow stronger without us realizing it. But because of misunderstanding, many gardeners pull them out the moment they appear, unknowingly removing some of the most helpful, silent guardians in the garden. Today, I want to share with you the top 6 beneficial wild weeds, the ones you've probably seen, stepped on, or accidentally removed, without knowing that they were actually helping your vegetable garden thrive every single day. Most gardeners see weeds as the natural enemies of a vegetable bed, and yes, many of them truly are. But the 6 wild weeds we're talking about today belong to a very different group. Instead of competing with your plants, they quietly support the soil, protect moisture, and help your garden stay healthier than you might expect. Some of these weeds grow low and wide, forming a natural blanket that shields the soil from harsh sunlight. This simple layer can prevent evaporation, reduce cracking, and keep the root zone cooler during hot days. Others, like clover, actually enrich the soil by adding natural nitrogen, giving your vegetables an organic nutrient boost without any extra fertilizer. And then there are the weeds with tiny flowers, small but powerful magnets for ladybugs, parasitic wasps, and pollinators that help keep pests under control. Deep-rooted weeds such as plantain even loosen compacted soil, allowing air and water to move more freely underground. Meanwhile, their shallow feeding habits mean they take little away from your crops. Top 1 in our list of 6 beneficial weeds is purslane, the small, delicate wild green that spreads gently across the soil with its succulent leaves and soft red stems. Many gardeners pull it out without hesitation, thinking it is just another invasive plant stealing nutrients from their crops. But purslane is far more helpful than it appears. Its thick, water-filled leaves act like tiny natural reservoirs, storing moisture and slowly releasing it back into the soil throughout the day. Because it grows low and wide, purslane forms a natural cooling blanket that protects the soil from harsh sunlight. This simple layer helps slow evaporation, keeping the ground moist and giving nearby vegetables a stable, cooler root zone. Tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, and leafy greens thrive when purslane grows nearby. They experience less heat stress and maintain their moisture far longer on hot summer afternoons. What makes purslane especially remarkable is how little it competes with your plants. Its shallow roots only take nutrients from the very top layer of soil, leaving deeper, richer layers untouched for your vegetables. And with its low, gentle growth pattern, it never blocks sunlight or overwhelms larger crops. So when you notice purslane forming a green carpet across your garden, consider letting it stay. It may be quietly doing more to support your plants than you realize. Crabgrass is often seen as a nuisance, the kind of weed gardeners rip out without a second thought. But top 2 in our list of beneficial weeds is none other than this surprisingly useful plant. When looked at closely, crabgrass reveals its true strength. Its sprawling stems and fine, fibrous roots form a natural web across the soil, holding it tightly together. This makes it incredibly valuable in gardens where the soil tends to wash away during heavy rain or strong watering. Unlike aggressive weeds, crabgrass grows mainly on the surface, creating a loose but protective layer that prevents erosion and keeps the soil from breaking apart. This helps crops like corn, sweet potatoes, pumpkins, and other vining plants maintain stable ground beneath them, especially in wide, sunny garden beds. Because it spreads horizontally rather than vertically, crabgrass rarely competes with tall crops for light. And although it looks tough, its roots stay shallow, taking only minimal nutrients, while offering structural support to the soil. In hot climates, crabgrass can even help reduce surface heat. Its thin leaves cast just enough shade to cool the topsoil, while still letting your main crops receive full sunlight. So the next time you see crabgrass stretching across a dry corner of your garden, pause before pulling it. Hidden beneath its rough appearance is a natural stabilizer that your soil may rely on far more than you think. Top 3 in our list of 6 beneficial weeds is Spanish needle, a delicate wild plant easily recognized by its small white petals and bright yellow center. Many gardeners dismiss it as just another fast-growing weed, but Spanish needle plays a powerful and often overlooked role in maintaining a healthy garden ecosystem. Its tiny flowers are rich in nectar, making them irresistible to pollinators. But more importantly, they attract the heroes of natural pest control: ladybugs, parasitic wasps, hoverflies, and lacewings. These beneficial insects help keep aphids, caterpillars, and other pests in check, allowing your vegetables to grow with far less stress. Because Spanish needle grows slender and upright, it rarely overshadows nearby crops. Its roots remain shallow, taking little from the soil while offering a valuable service above ground. Many organic farmers intentionally leave Spanish needle along the edges of their fields, understanding that a steady supply of beneficial insects can dramatically reduce pest outbreaks. And although it looks simple, this weed thrives in poor soils, intense heat, and neglected corners of the garden, exactly the places where vegetables often struggle. By drawing helpful insects toward your crops, Spanish needle becomes a natural shield, offering protection without a single drop of chemical spray. So next time its tiny white blossoms appear around your garden beds, consider letting a few stay. Your vegetables may be safer because of it. Top 4 in our list of 6 beneficial weeds is plantain, a humble wild plant often found growing flat against the ground, with its broad, ribbed leaves forming a rosette shape. Most gardeners walk past it without a second glance, or pull it out thinking it serves no purpose. But plantain performs one of the most important tasks in a garden. It naturally breaks up compacted soil. With its strong, downward-growing roots, plantain creates tiny air channels underground, allowing water, nutrients, and oxygen to move more freely through the soil. This makes plantain especially valuable in gardens where the soil has become hard from frequent walking, heavy rain, or years of cultivation. Carrots, radishes, onions, garlic, and leafy greens all grow significantly better in soil that has been loosened by plantain's deep-reaching roots. Because the plant sits low to the ground, it rarely interferes with other crops. It simply improves the environment around them. And while plantain may look tough, it doesn't compete aggressively. Its roots draw from deeper layers, leaving the nutrient-rich topsoil available for your vegetables. Many gardeners who leave plantain in a few strategic spots later notice their soil becoming softer, richer, and easier to work with. So if you find plantain resting quietly at the edge of your garden bed, consider letting it stay. It may be doing essential underground work that benefits your entire garden. Top 5 in our list brings us to white clover, a small, tender weed that often spreads like a delicate carpet across garden beds. Many gardeners recognize it by its tiny 3-part leaves marked with a pale crescent and its soft white pom-pom flowers. But what most people don't realize is that clover performs one of the most valuable services any wild plant can offer. It naturally adds nitrogen to the soil. Through a remarkable process, clover works with soil bacteria to capture nitrogen from the air and convert it into a form that plants can absorb. This makes it incredibly beneficial for crops that crave rich, fertile soil, especially leafy greens, cabbages, broccoli, peppers, tomatoes, and even strawberries. When clover grows among them, these vegetables often develop a deeper green color, stronger stems, and more vigorous growth. Because clover stays low and soft, it rarely competes with larger crops. Instead, it forms a living mulch that keeps the soil moist and cool. It also attracts pollinators and beneficial insects, bringing more life to your garden with almost no effort on your part. So if you see patches of white clover spreading quietly around your plants, consider letting them flourish. Behind their gentle appearance lies a powerful natural fertilizer that can transform the health of your garden. In the final spot of our list, we have green foxtail, a simple weed with surprising benefits. While many see it as just another summer weed, foxtail actually plays an important role in keeping the soil cool during the hottest months of the year. Its thin, arching leaves cast a delicate shade over the ground, reducing surface temperatures and slowing down moisture loss. A simple but powerful protection for your vegetables. This makes foxtail especially valuable in gardens where the sun beats hard and the soil dries out quickly. Crops like potatoes, tomatoes, zucchini, pumpkins, and other heat-sensitive plants thrive better when foxtail grows nearby, because the topsoil stays cooler and more stable. And unlike aggressive weeds, foxtail has shallow, gentle roots that take very little from the soil. It grows upright and airy, never crowding or overshadowing the vegetables around it. Foxtail also helps reduce the spread of more harmful weeds by occupying open soil lightly but effectively. In many traditional gardens, a small amount of foxtail is intentionally left along the edges to protect the ground from heat and erosion. So if you notice these soft, green brushes rising in your garden, consider keeping a few. They might be shielding your vegetables from the worst of the summer sun. From my own years in the garden, I've learned a simple but essential truth. Even the most beneficial weeds become a problem when they grow beyond what your vegetables can handle. Balance is everything. In my experience, the ideal amount is to let these gentle weeds cover no more than 20–30% of the soil surface. At that level, they act like a natural living mulch, protecting moisture, cooling the ground, and supporting healthy soil life, without smothering young plants or competing for space. And placement matters just as much as quantity. I always allow beneficial weeds to grow along the edges of the garden beds, or in open spaces between rows where they can work quietly without interfering with the main crops. What I never do is let them grow right at the base of young seedlings, because tender roots need space and full sunlight to establish themselves. With just the right amount, and in the right places, these wild helpers strengthen the garden. But like everything in life, too much of a good thing quickly becomes too much. Neighbor, that brings us to the end of today's video. I hope these 6 beneficial wild weeds gave you a fresh, kinder way to look at your garden. Sometimes the smallest, simplest plants make the biggest difference. If this helped you, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. It truly supports the channel and helps it reach more gardeners just like you. Thanks for spending your time here with me today. Take care of yourself, enjoy your garden, and I'll see you in the next one.